I'm here at Street Fat Performance in somewhere, Ohio. I won't tell you where, but if you need these guys, trust me, you're gonna want to use them. They are doing things that is more mind-blowing than the last shot Kurt Cobain drank. Ooh, that was wrong. That was wrong. That was so wrong. This is Alex. Alex is the guy running the show here, I think, right?
We all do.
They all do?
Yeah, it's all...
I'm going to forget their names.
I guess 33%, 33.333 in between all of us.
that weird number in threes.
Yeah,
Look,
well,
these guys are doing the craziest stuff, and I can't wait to see this one particular build get done. This is wicked. Just try to picture mixing a Charger with a Genesis. That's pretty interesting, and it's going to be wild. I didn't even know you could fit a V8 in a Genesis, but they did it. I don't know what shoehorn these guys are working with, but it's a big one. So tell me more about what you did with this.
So this basically, well, this is a customer's car, and he wants to put a Hemi motor in the Genesis. So we didn't really think it was gonna be possible, but it is. It fits in there. It's not too big of a size for this engine bay. This engine bay actually a little bigger than the original bay it came out of, but the engine actually taller, so there's going to be a lot of modifications in that part. Other than that, it fit pretty well. We can check it out if you guys want to see this.
Of course. I think we need a little cinematic B-roll footage in 3,
10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me, oh you matter what. Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what. Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me, it's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold-hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much. I just take the money and go stack up. Only buying car to get tatted up. All that other bull, it don't matter much. You only climb me, I put the ladders up. No fault, I done doubled up on the workload. I think I fell in love with the bankroll. Pray up, get money, then we lay low.
So Jake is one of the other guys here. He is actually going to talk about some of the technical details of swapping out a Hemi engine from a Challenger to a Genesis. So how?
Well, I mean, it's pretty basic. If it fits, you know, good. If not, you make it fit. So the biggest things that we were thinking about when we sized up the two cars was total height, clearance. The oil pan's definitely going to have to be addressed, so we're probably going to end up pulling that off and pretty much cutting it and shortening the pan, or look at other options. We don't want to lose much quantity or capacity of the oil pan, but surprisingly, first thought, I thought I was going to have to get in there and do a lot of clearancing and cut the tunnel out for the transmission, but it's a tight fit, but it fits pretty good. No one offers like aftermarket support for this yet that we've seen so far. So as far as like motor mounts, transmission mounts, it's pretty typical. It's just a smaller package, so we're going to fabricate our own, just using some thick wall steel tube, DOM tubing. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. We're swapping the entire body control module, harness, so it's pretty much just going to be a Challenger stock setup just in this Genesis. So it's going to be a little bit, you know, there'll be some hurdles for sure, but as far as we're just laying in the harness, we got to try to integrate some of the basic functions, which would be like, you know, windows, just simple circuits. But anything ran off a CAN bus, we're using the Dodge power plant. So it's gonna be a fun build. Surprisingly, it doesn't look too bad. Be a little bit of modification, but it's gonna be a good build. Can't wait to see it run, see it drive.
Are you gonna be swapping over the sat nav and everything into this from?
That's our attempt. We're gonna see how complete of a swap we can do and try to keep every function as far as like steering wheel controls, you know, satellite radio, everything. As far down, we gotta look at the outputs for the wheel speed sensors, but even probably the ABS module. I gotta look into that a little bit further, look at some of the prints, some of the schematics. But if we're running the body control module, trying to minimize the amount of wires and electronics that is visible that you see during the build, so it would be nice if we could just run one. We don't want to have to try to integrate two, so we're just going to try to come up with one system for the whole car. And it's going to be a little bit, you know, trying. We're gonna have to figure some things out, but it's nothing we can't handle with these guys over here. You know, where I lack, that's where they come in, pick up. Same vice versa. So what else? Let me think.
So this is a full-on team build. Whatever you guys,
well, that's
just
how it goes.
put your heads together. And
when you cross paths with people, you know, I have my skill sets, he has his skill sets, and he has his. You know, sometimes I don't see the answer, and he'll walk right up and boom, keep us moving forward. So we got a good thing going here with us three. All our years of experience, fabrication. So I'm super stoked. I'm glad we got the chance to do this. You know, every difficult build that you come across, it's, you know, just makes you better, more experience. So
I think one of the craziest things is that when I walked in here, Alex said that they had 4 days into this build so far. 4 days, and they've already got an engine sitting in here and transmissions in with it too.
Yep.
yeah,
That's wild.
Yeah, we ended up, you know, gutting both cars, pulling this motor, you know, mocking it up, kind of just temp installing it for now. So it was actual 4 working days of both vehicles between 3 of us.
So how did the rear end work out? Is that going to be the Challenger's rear end, or
we're keeping this rear end in here? We will find the weak link in this build in time. But the guy's not really setting it up for drag racing, from what we talked, and we're gonna end up modifying the drive shaft. We're gonna try to.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, modify the drive shaft. Use as much of the Dodge drive shaft because it's obviously rated for this power, and then adapting the rear. This has a flex, like a flex or a dampening joint on the rear end. We're gonna have to take that out of there because I see that right out the gate. It's just like a rubber donut that goes to the differential and the drive shaft. In my eyes, that'd be the first thing to go. So we're gonna just adapt straight from the diff to the Dodge drive shaft. So I think that's the best route.
That's wicked. And then are you guys going to keep this? Is this going to be static, or are they putting it on airbags? Or?
No, it's just gonna be static.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna get raced. He's probably gonna end up changing tires and getting rid of all this crazy camber.
And definitely for this build, since this is what the customer likes, he likes the stance, you know, the static. We're gonna put a lot of provisions in for the low ground clearance. I've already got a couple ideas, a couple little skid plates, because it's got a plastic transmission pan on the bottom. It's like composite, so we definitely gotta keep that in mind for the customer's sake, you know, for a reliable build, you know, so you can still scrape on the bottom, don't have to worry about oil pan, transmission pan clearance. So that's another thing we're thinking about as we go further.
Is there any plans for like aero and everything on it, or?
I mean, he likes the wide body. I think he just gonna fix it up a little bit, make it look nicer. He did pick it up from somebody else, and it's a little beat up. So his plans are, you know, fix it up and do a little bit of body work so it looks nice, and maybe some different bumpers or whatnot.
And who's this kit from? Does anybody know? This wide body kit?
I'm not sure what kind of body kit it is. I don't know if it's a Rocket body kit or if it's
It does kind of remind me of a Rocket Bunny a lot.
yeah, it might be a Rocket Bunny kit. I'm not sure, but it needs a little bit of work. You know, whoever had it, I'm not sure. That didn't really take care of it. You can see a lot of.
Yeah, it's a little wavy. And what hand did you have in this?
I take everything apart. Nah, I ripped all the wire harness out. Ripped it all out of here. We gutted both these interiors. It wasn't that bad. This one was mostly kind of apart. The Dodge wire harness was way easier to come apart because the interior wire harness was one and the engine was one. This one, however, is all connected, so that was kind of a pain, but...
Yeah, that is a good thing to touch on. Dodge really did a good job with this harness. They have an individual standalone harness for just the dash, so you can disconnect the dash just for the harness and just for the body control. You know, all connectors, there's no, you know, body control tied to the engine like this one we had to feed through the firewall. That was connectors only, so that was a huge, you know, I was really impressed with that. I never tore the body control module or harness out and module and dash out of a newer Dodge like that, but they really killed it with that harness. I mean, it's a no-brainer to run that just for the ease of maintenance, access, and they really have good support for the wiring diagrams out there. You can go multiple sites on there, so we ended up getting one for that car and this car, so I can overlay and see what's controlling what, and it just helps us as we go along, labeling all the connectors. So we need to do this build so it's maintenance friendly in the future if he wants to upgrade. So, you know, we got full access to pretty much all the connectors, the pinouts. So Dodge did a good job. I was impressed with that. I did like that.
That's pretty wild. If you guys want to see like this build, these guys actually have their own YouTube channel. If you guys want to go on, look for Street Fat Performance, you can actually watch this build in action. Before I came here, I actually saw Alex commenting on a Facebook post about his channel, and I thought I'd check it out. And when I started watching the videos, I'm like, man, I need to come out and see these guys because what they're doing is wild. This is going to be super, super cool. So if you want to see the whole process of this build, follow them on Facebook, follow them on YouTube, and make sure you watch these videos because I'm telling you, this is a crazy, crazy process that is just, it's wild. Like, I can't get over this. Walking in and seeing a V8, a Hemi V8 in a Genesis. And man, I hope he keeps that 2.0T on the back of that thing. It's just wicked. So there was another one that if you go on to their YouTube channel and you start watching videos, there's another car on there that's pretty wild. It comes with a 6-cylinder. So it's supposed to have a 6-cylinder, and it still has a 6-cylinder. But I don't know what kind of music you listen to, but we were like Jay-Z, right? But there's only one thing better than one Jay-Z, and that's 2 Jay-Z, right? And Alex did it on a 350Z, swapped out that old cruddy V6 to a 2JZ. Check that out.
Yeah. Go and try your luck. Test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that ass be poking out them jeans. I've been sparking up like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up, it's the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up, they can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. I pull up and I and I'm swerving. If a nigga try to holler, she gon' curve him. We came from under rugs like a Persian. We've been staying in
So
LA,
what were the
ain't no
challenges that
merging.
you had on this one?
Well, this month, it's been done so many times already, so a lot of this stuff, you know, bracketry and the mounts are, you know, they're available to buy. So that was kind of easy. The motor mounts, you can buy the transmission, the adapter plate to a CD009 transmission, which is a stock 350Z training. And luckily they do make harnesses, so it wasn't really that much of a difference, you know, or challenge to actually do it. A lot of, I guess, plumbing, you know, trying to make it nice and neat was a challenge. And then I'm still working on getting the AC hooked up. Everything's wired and installed. I just got to get the AC lines adapted to my compressor. The drive shaft had to get shortened a little bit. You know, it was a custom drive shaft. Still got to keep my carbon fiber drive shaft, which is a stock that comes in a 350. I ended up sending it out to the company in Arizona, and they shortened it for me. So that wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a fun project. I did it in about 3 months, just working my daily job and working on this after work.
Nice.
And it was pretty easy. I enjoyed it. And we did another one for a customer, which came out, I think, better than mine, because I already had some experience. So we kind of, you know, did some modifications to the problems that I had for him, so he doesn't have the same issues. but I enjoy it. It's a lot of power for a stock motor that you can just purchase, you know, and you don't have to do anything to. On what is it, 93, it's about 540 at the wheel, and E85, it's just about 700. So I enjoy it, love it.
So that's not bad at all. So when are you going to dial this up to 1,000? That's the question.
I don't know. Right now I'm enjoying the power that I got. I mean, I probably have to do some head work before I have can go there and be reliable. But one day, you know, one day I'll do that once I get bored of this power level.
So tell us more about like what you've done with it. Like what turbo you running?
This is a Precision 64, 66, I believe. If I'm not wrong, I might be wrong, but yeah, I think it's a 64, 66. It's not a bad turbo. You got a pretty decent spool, about 3,000 RPM. It picks up or kicks in a boost, so it's not too laggy or anything like that. But it's got the Hellcat fuel pump, all PTFE lines, sorry, all PTFE lines, and fittings everywhere. I don't know, I did basically all the upgrades I could just to stay, you know, keep it cool and keep it reliable. I do have big fans up front. I did have a struggle with Mishimoto fans that I bought originally, and then I ended up purchasing some Spal fans that are keeping this thing cool. Another thing we did was drive-by-wire. This is still a 350Z throttle body. They got adapted to the 2J. If you guys know what 2J is, got the regular, well, it's kind of half cable and half electric, I guess, if you want to call it. But I got rid of that, and we end up adapting a 350Z VQ. Everything else is basically, I don't know, your regular swap stuff.
So what gave you the idea to do this in the first place, as opposed to just like warm up the original V6? And
yeah, my plan was to build a VQ originally, but for the money that you got to put in and then reliability and power, you know, it was just made sense to do this one because it basically would come out to the same, you know, dollar amount, but it'll be a lot more reliable. You know, VQ is not that reliable. I mean, it's a good motor, you know. It lasted for a long time. Mine already had like 200,000 miles, and I've seen a lot of track time and stuff. And it still ran, you know, no problems. But, I mean, this is pretty cool motor, and I enjoy it.
So what do you prefer more? Are you more into like doing the drag races or like road course?
I've been doing drifting for a little while. I had a 240 SX before this one, and now I've been taking this one out for a little bit, but I try to stay away from the walls and stuff. So
you have an angle kit in here then?
No, I do have spacers on the tie rods, but that's about it. I do want to upgrade to maybe like a GK Tech, angle kit or something like that, and put like a hydro e-brake in it. That's planned for next year to have that installed. Other than that, it's basically a cruiser and you know, a weekend, take it out to the track and have some fun.
It's a cruiser. Super cool. So, all right. So let's ask these questions. What was your first car memory that you can think of?
I don't know. Racking a 240 SX into mailbox in somebody's front yard.
There's got to be a story to that.
Yeah, just, you know, going too fast for the corner and taking out a mailbox, you know, sliding a little bit. And then I had to get a tow truck. It was pretty embarrassing.
Oh, man, that's not the special
Let's
delivery.
Ask those guys what their favorite or what their memories
Oh, we're definitely going to.
I'm sure
so
Jake's got some good ones.
So was that your first or your favorite?
That's probably my favorite. It was more fun.
What was your first?
Well, my dad was all about cars and my grandpa was all about cars, so I kind of just picked up after them, you know, and that's how I started working on them, just messing around with them in the garage and then, you know, kind of doing my own thing afterwards.
That's pretty cool. So the idea here is you guys are, you're building a shop. You want to be able to like do this full time at some point.
Yeah, at some point. That's the plan, to do it full time. We've been in this building for about 2.5 months now. And, you know, we're pretty busy for the small shop that we are, you know, just trying to keep everybody on track, you know, not to keep the cars in here for too long.
I mean, 4 days on that, you're definitely not keeping it for too long.
The customers want their cars back and you want to hold on to them. You know. So we do our best to get them in and out as fast as we can. So I think they're happy. If you guys, you know, nobody had anything bad to say. So far so good. Everybody stays happy.
That's cool. The good thing, I'm glad you guys are doing a YouTube channel so that we can all follow your progress and see how much you grow. But not just that, like, this is going to allow more people to see your shop and come to you guys for some really sweet custom stuff. Like, this is
Yeah,
this is wild.
Absolutely, yeah. We've always excited to take on a new project, especially something unique like this, you know, that nobody has done before, at least not that I know of. So that's what we basically want to do is, you know, something one of.
Of course, I mentioned a project that I'm eventually going to do, and I got a feeling I know where I'm going to be going for that.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be some little trick work. I'm not going to say what the project is on camera, but there's going to be some trick work and some crazy stuff to do on that. But these guys, seeing this, these guys can do it. We're going to ask the other two guys about their first car memories, their favorite car memories, and maybe what drives them to do this and to want to start this shop and everything. Obviously, Alex is very, very driven, knows what he's doing, incredibly intelligent. Everything, these guys, the only thing that they've proven to me so far is that they're very good at what they do, and they're way smarter than I am, which honestly doesn't take much, but they definitely are way smarter than I am. So we're going to get to these other guys as soon as I think they took off for a quick sec. And you got to see some of the other cars they got sitting around here, because there's this little Lincoln, this little tiny, small Lincoln that Joe has that's, I don't know, I've been kind of drooling over since I got here. How about that? What about that Lincoln, man?
Well, I just bought a 76 Lincoln Continental. Did I need a fourth car? No, but for $1,500 I couldn't pass it up. It's got the Ford 460 in it. It's a dog. I did the math. It gets 7 miles to the gallon. It's fantastic. Yeah, I mean the interior's mint. She needs a little love, but can't complain. And the color's not my favorite, but I enjoy the car.
Only weighs 30,000 pounds though.
Oh, dude, it's massive.
So cool. This is bigger than the pickup truck I drove here in. It's, without question, it is longer.
19.5 feet long.
Golly.
Oh yeah.
So we were saying this thing, I think what it needs is maybe like right there and right there, turbos sticking out of the hood, and then the exhaust got to be coming out right there and right there, of course.
Oh, absolutely.
1,500 horse. This should be able to get it 0 to 60 in 14 seconds.
Take it to church. Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah,
just
like
so
it.
cool.
I'm pumped. It does need a little work, but I mean, for a 50-year-old car, I can't complain.
And now your newest baby.
Yeah, it's my 2006 CTSV named Black Betty. I mean, I haven't really done much to her. I just bought her a couple months ago. Pretty much as it sits. We just did all the routine maintenance, changed all the fluids, did motor mounts on it, spark plug wires, plugs. I mean, I'm just loving it. I'm telling you, I just got it out of the garage to take today, and I realized, man, I love this car.
Except for when the payments come and then it's like, God, I hate this car. And then you drive it.
Then you drive it and you're like, that's what it is.
There's something that warms my heart when I see an LS in anything. It's just,
Oh, dude, it's such a blast. We got the Hurst shifter in it. It needs a little more power.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, low end's a little. Top end she shits and gets, but we want to pro charge it, but I'm going to pay it off first. We'll go from there. The other thing that sucks is that 6 lug wheels, so it's super expensive to get new wheels for these things. So.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
But other than that, the stock ones don't look too bad.
No, I mean, depending on how you spray paint them.
Yeah. Now they plasti dipped them. You can tell they're all peeling.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at that. There's no question those are plasti dipped. But they look good in black, though. I don't know why they didn't do that factory.
I don't know. The other thing that I don't know why it's crazy to me is this little gasket around the headlight. Both sides are just peeling away, and you can't, of course, buy the gasket. You have to buy a whole new headlight. So.
And what's that, $800 for the freaking headlight?
Oh yeah, dude, it's so expensive.
It's gonna be stupid, yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that, but it's not that bad. That and the other thing that I don't know what the hell this is. All these little dents in here. I don't know if it got hail damage or something, but.
Oh wow. Yeah, you can even see those on camera.
Oh yeah, they're crazy.
What the heck? How does that even happen? That's got to be hail damage.
That's
a really soft material there too.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm just like, maybe they did. They owned a body shop too, so I'm thinking maybe they just fixed it. But I can't find those anywhere. So if anybody knows where I can find those trim pieces, please let me know.
Yeah, you guys can get them. Do you guys have an Instagram as well?
Yeah.
Street Fab Performance?
Yep.
Oh yeah, you guys can send them a message on their Instagram if you do know somebody that has those moldings that go around the top of the door. He definitely needs them. I mean, these things,
driving me insane.
It's so crazy. Come on, focus. Look at that. How does it get that many dents?
Oh, I have no idea. I noticed it after I already bought the car.
Did they live on like a golf course or?
I don't know.
It's still gorgeous though. What a beautiful car.
Oh, I love it.
So, all right, questions for you now.
All right.
What is your very first car memory?
So when we were younger, we were taking care of this old lady. She gave us her 91 Buick LeSabre. And my mom's allergic to mold, and the inside of the car got wet. So we took all the interior out. When we were kids, we couldn't drive. So we put lawn chairs in it. And we would just drive in the backyard with it all the time. And the name of the game was you'd have somebody on the hood, sticking your fingers on the hood, and you'd have to try to shake them off. So we always thought we were real slick, and our parents didn't know that we were driving it. So, you know, we'd wash it all off, put more gas in it. We didn't think about the mileage. So we got caught every time. Oh, but I loved that car.
That's amazing. And your favorite car memory?
Favorite car memory? Probably with this thing. I don't know why, but when I first got it, I was coming home and there was a Mustang GT that just thought he was going to beat me. I just smoked his ass to it in 150.
Well, you have 505 horsepower.
Oh, it was a blast. I had so much fun. It was great. But I will tell you, she needs rotors. Coming down from 150.
Little wobbly?
Little wobbly.
That's pretty typical with anything with a... I mean, they're solid steel brakes. You know, they're not vented or anything, so... Yeah, of course that's going to happen.
And I don't know if they're stock. I mean, it's got 81,000 miles on it. I don't know how much the dude drove it before. Not that much, so I'm hoping they're not stock, but it is what it is. I'm going to get new ones, but...
Well, you can get some vented ones next so that you don't have such a problem. So what was it that made you want to get in with these guys to jump in the shop?
So we all work together, and we always just talk about cars all the time. Alex was the one. I had a 2001 Cadillac DeVille, and I was changing out the CV axle, and all of a sudden I'm prying on it, and I saw fluid everywhere, and I was like, oh man, I hit a line. No, I put a hole in the transmission.
Oh.
So me and him dropped it in the dead of winter twice, because we put it in, and I was like, shouldn't we check it, make sure it's not going to leak? He's like, no, it's not going to leak. Then when we come back the next day, I was like, oh, there's no fluid in it. All over the garage.
It was bleeding.
Oh, yeah. The gasket got pinched or something. So
oh, no.
Me and him did that twice, and I was like, I always enjoy working on cars, but I always had a small garage, and it's like, my dream is to have a big garage like this. I still want bigger, but... Well,
sure. Everybody does. I have a love-hate with working on cars. Like, I like doing it, but I don't think I've ever cussed so much.
Oh, I know.
Anytime I've ever worked on a car.
Oh, I'm telling you, you're just like... Or if you bang your knuckle, you're like, I'm just going to give it a minute.
Oh, I would make a sailor blush.
Oh.
Guaranteed.
That's why I like having multiple cars, because it's like when you finally get done with it, you're like, nope, you're going to sit for a while. You have pissed me off today. Right. I'm getting the other one.
Outstanding. Dude, beautiful car.
Thanks, man.
You guys are doing incredible work. We still got one more that we got to talk to, because I want to get a little more. He's right in there. I want to get a little more on him. All right. So now we got Jake.
Yo.
And this guy is obviously proven himself to be way smarter than me, which again that doesn't take much, but
I don't know about that.
He's definitely done that. The brains behind a lot of what's going on with this guy here. We've talked to him. He really knows what he's talking about. So, what is it that made you want to get in on all this? Other than you guys are obviously three friends and really have a common interest. So, what was it that made you want to start your own shop? And
I got an addiction to tools and like capabilities and fabricating. Really, that's what it stems down to. And, I always did stuff on the side on, just like typical maintenance stuff. And it's when I crossed paths with Alex. What really got me going with Alex was him talking about this build, this 350Z. And at work, we could just non-stop talk about cars, like every day in and out. It doesn't get old. And then when he told me he was doing this build, I'm like, all right, never seen any of his work outside of work. And he was telling me how fast the build's coming along. And he's like, yeah, I think, be done in a couple of weeks. So the first time I saw the car, I was blown away. I mean, it was a matter of months from like thought to, car done, driving it to work. So, that was, seeing that, like I like working on the performance side of things, clean cars. I do a lot of sheet metal work on airplanes. That's another side thing that I got to do. But I just like the fabrication, you know, working on cars. It's just what I like. I lose track of time, you know, spend all day and, you know, I'm not watching the clock. So
yeah, if you're doing something you love, you never work a day in your life.
And that's what it seems like, you know, when, you know, car's complete, see the customer's face, makes me happy, they're happy. So I really enjoy it. And, you know, it's not like effort to do it for me. It's, you know, something I enjoy.
So now we got an idea of what these two guys drive. What do you drive?
I drive a lot. GM's my thing. I like GM V8s. I got a 95 Sierra. If you check out our YouTube channel, I did a LQ9 swap. So it's not my daily, but I did a frame off, you know, sandblasted the entire frame underneath the bed. It's lived its whole life in Ohio, so it's pretty clean. I'd like to get those power numbers up there. So right now it's just a stock LQ9 6.
You got some rookie numbers going on.
Yeah, I got some rookie numbers going on right now. I want that 4-digit horsepower. That's what I'm going after. So,
Nice.
you know, the thoughts there. You know, I just gotta get to it and continue on with that build. But it's a runner and driver. Other than that,
so here's the questions. You ready?
Yep. Let's
Your
hear it.
very first car memory.
Very first car memory. Let's see. I was rolling around in, like, I think it was a 76 Cadillac. Huge car when I was a kid. And I don't know, something about cars. I used to play hooky. I used to go to church. I'd play hooky. And Mom would take my sisters and I would go out and steal their cars and rip them around the barn. And that was pretty much it. I don't know. That Cadillac sticks out in my head for some reason. And then my mom, she always drove big body cars, and I just took a liking to them. I really liked stealing them whenever they'd leave the house. She would go to Florida, you know, neighbors calling, taking her car, stealing my sister's car when I was young. And I don't know, it just couldn't keep me out of the driver's seat. That's pretty much it. That Cadillac, I don't know why, but that Cadillac, it was, you know, brown, nasty looking car.
You'd be surprised how many people have Cadillac as their first memory. What about your favorite car memory?
Favorite car memory, let's see it. Probably getting my black truck. You know, I always had like pretty rough cars, and my mom, she was like, you need to, she didn't tell me this, but she was like, hey, this truck's for sale. She's like, I'll help you get it. So that was the first vehicle that I never totaled or burnt to the ground, and I still got it today. I got it when I was 17, so that's probably it. Seeing that truck pull up with my mom in it, being like, don't mess this thing up.
Nice. So what do you have in mind for a future build? What would be like your dream build?
I don't really have a dream build. I really want to build a Datsun pickup truck with like a RB, like a little, either a Datsun or a Toyota with a 2J, something like that. Just a little kind of like Time Attack style pickup truck, you know, 70s, early 80s.
That'd be pretty wild.
So that's what I really want to go. That's what I'm trying to pitch this guy. I know he's a big Nissan guy, so if we can get a little Datsun pickup. I like them 510s, but well, they're expensive, so I'll settle for a little square body.
There's one in my neighborhood, by the way, that drives around a lot.
Is it for sale?
I don't know. I can find out. I see them all the time. All right. What about you? What would be your dream build?
R34, if I can ever afford it.
What would you do to it?
Probably build a motor, just light modifications, so it's a nice cruiser, you know, nothing crazy, just keep it nice and stylish, and just keep it simple but reliable. Nothing that you could kill at the track.
I like that. I actually like that. Not molest it too much. Yeah. All right.
Mine would be 1989 Cadillac Fleetwood Brougham, because I'm an old lady at heart. I don't know what I would put in it, but I would absolutely drive the shit out of it.
All right, guys, that is going to do it from Street Fat Performance. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you guys check them out on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, and follow them. Make sure you watch their videos. I'm telling you, they're doing some crazy, crazy stuff. I can't wait to see this Genesis when it's done. And I definitely got to go for a ride. That 350's right there. It's, you know, because why not? So that's going to do it. Make sure you guys hit like, subscribe, comment down below if you guys have anything that you want to ask these guys. I'm sure I can either relay the message or they'll see it and they'll respond to you. So make sure, donate to your local animal shelters. Be kind, stay positive. Peace.